Next item is a request for out-of-state training, incident response to terrorist bombing. We have attached training information.
Standard question is this in the budget already? I mean, the money covered in the budget?
Cost of the training is, there's no cost to the city of Tomah now. I mean, it's paid for by a federal entity.
Okay. So move to approve?
I'll second.
We have
I have a question.
we'll have to wait till the discussion point. We have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Plus, how many officers will be going to this training?
2.
How long is it?
4 days.
Where is it at?
New Mexico.
Who's doing the training?
Would be representatives from the Department of Homeland Security, Local Government Coordination and Cooperation, Domestic Preparedness.
Is there a mandate that says we have to send somebody?
No, there's no mandate that says we have to send anybody. No. Do we create some risk management issues if we don't provide our officers training based on a variety of incidents that we come in contact with? Absolutely. I don't know. I'll give you my motives for sending officers from this department to this training. And it began with an incident that we had in downtown Tomah, whereas we thought there was an explosive device in a vehicle parked next to one of our financial institutions. Had no people trained for in the ability to identify explosive devices. I spoke with other police chiefs. They sent their personnel to this training program in New Mexico, and it was very valuable for them from the perspective of approaching situations in a safe and efficient manner for the purposes of determining whether or not a device might be an explosive device or not. My motive for sending the officers to this training is so that we can function in as safe a manner as possible and resolve a similar situation as quickly as possible, so we're not inconveniencing the citizens of Tomah.
Who has training in that?
Currently, in our department,
No, who you spoke with?
Chief Cass from Sparta sent his officer.
So Sparta's trained.
Correct.
So if Sparta's trained, why do we need to be trained?
I mean, the personnel, I mean, if we don't have several trained, I mean, you've got vacations, you've got time off, people unavailable. I mean, you think, I mean, there's just one person needs to be trained in every topic at the department?
This is a train-the-trainer course, right?
That's correct.
So Sparta sent somebody to be a trainer.
I believe yes, I don't know if they sent 1 or 2, but I don't
So
think.
they are trainers. They could train somebody else.
That's true.
And also the course is 4 days. That's 4 days without having 2 of our officers policing the city.
That would be a valid conclusion, I suppose, yes.
Also, has there ever been a terrorist bombing in Tomah or Monroe County?
Not that I recall, no.
So we've never had one. We've had an incident where somebody had some stuff in his trunk of his car this summer, but it turned out to be nothing. If he had something, he would have been arrested and he would have been found guilty of something.
Would you rather us be unprepared for a situation if in fact it's true?
Who's going to bomb Tomah? It's 10,000 people.
We've never had
Mr. Bilecki has
since 1960.
It might be appropriate to do that because I'm trying to get caught back up on this thing, or most of it I got. But it is required that somebody here be trained to identify and hopefully dismantle IEDs, which is, I'm familiar with your course out there too from previous experience, and that would fit right into this thing too. I don't know that Monroe County has gone as serious to say other counties, nor do they have the resources to say that Milwaukee or Madison could to implement these sort of things. So we do the best we can what we have, but the training he recommends here fits right under the national planning scenarios and IEDs.
I understand that that's the scenario that they're recommending, but based on home rule, we don't have to approve it.
Yes, sir.
We haven't had, but we have had, unfortunately, we don't have any more, but we used to have bomb squad out at Fort McCoy. And we have utilized them in the future for a potential, even with our banks, they've utilized when the bomb squad is here. But if you're thinking we've never had it, Kevin explained we've had that generator since 1976. We haven't had to use that either, but we're talking about getting one in case you do need it. You have to protect yourself against possible threats. If we knew none of these things were ever going to happen, we wouldn't need any of it.
Chief, back in that incident that we had, I mean, what it cost the city for what we had to do the way we had to do it because of not trained officers? Do you have an estimate what that cost was?
I wouldn't be able to give you an actual amount.
But I mean, right there alone, by having officers trained for that, it's a savings to us in the long run.
And again, if it is a matter of training and we have people from Sparta who've already taken the trainer course, then they're qualified to train people. We do not need to send somebody out of state for, 4 days. 2 people for 4 days is,
We would want somebody to be able to train our future and our next officers. We would want a trainer here to train the rest of the department as an ongoing, regular thing.
well, we have worked with Monroe County and Sparta and other places before. They have done training exercises in our facility before. How hard would it be for them to do this, to train our people? I'm sure we've conducted trainings with them before. And this way, everybody would get the same training right away.
All right. Further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing, or a couple things on this, and I'm a firm believer that our guys from Tomah here should they can go to this training course and get it directly from these this operation. What I want to say here, the people that are giving the course, because we know this is not the first one they've given, and it's going to be very accurate, and our officers really need to be trained in this. And to get the training from Sparta, not saying anything against Sparta or anything, but I don't feel that they would get the same training that Sparta got as if we send our people down to New Mexico. I'm a firm believer that our people should go down to New Mexico and get this training right from the technical trainers.
And again, the budget impact on this is nil. Is that correct? Correct. Nil.
Well, it's not though, but we're still paying their salary, correct, or are they paying?
Well, for the training course itself.
Right, the course itself is covered, but do we still pay them? They're in pay status, correct?
Of course.
So we are paying them,
Does
but
the
they're,
Department of Corrections send you to training on an unpaid status?
I haven't been trained in 5 years by the Department of Corrections due to budget cuts. I cannot recall the last training I've had, except for weapons recall, which really isn't a training, it's a
That
qualification.
doesn't make it right, though.
Oh, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying that that's the realities of what we're dealing with. We also aren't trained to deal with bombs in corrections, because it's probably not gonna ever happen,
Mr. Goya, we have other members that have yet to spoken, and it's my duty to allow them to speak before our second turn for a member that's already spoken. Ms. Peters?
I understand the training is for
Correct.
our officers to go down there, am I correct?
That's what the,
Yep.
if you just clarify, yeah.
I think I have to agree with Mr. Kelsey that I think that by sending the officers down there, they will get actually
a hands-on on what? It's not a second hands-down. It would be straight from the instructor. They would have the hands-on on the training. I think it's a good thing to send them. And second of all, I do work for the federal government, and when they send me training, I also get paid for being away from my station. So I would just like to say that.
I'd like to recognize Mr. Schleicher.
Just to apologize for getting gone here, but this is a train-the-trainer course. Specialized people are trained your people so they can train people below them, or maybe Sparta or Monroe County, whatever it may be. And I think we miss sometimes here is, yes, this is free money. Actually, it's still taxpayer dollars.
Of course.
We are paying for it, you know, but yeah, it's kind of says free money. But I'm a firm believer in I worked at the VA, and I know we went through a lot of training. Did it pertain to me? No, but I was required to go to on things of this nature, and I think as a council and as a police department, we're going to see more of this as we go down the line, because these threats are, yeah, they used to be overseas, but more and more have become localized. Not too many years ago, Tomah never had a fire alarm went off in the city, but it's a common thing nowadays, it seems like, you know. I mean, so there are things out there that we need to really look at, and I think the more training we get in this type of thing, the more we're going to be prepared for these incidents.
Any other members who have not spoken yet?
I call the question.
Hold on a second, because there was already one round of questions, and it went back to Nellie Bader. She got to speak again, and I would like to speak again.
Okay, I'll recognize Mr. Boyer.
First of all, this does not tell us what is covered in that 4-day course. 4 days. I have just the name of what's happening and a little bit of an overview. What I would like to know is what will be covered in that course. We should have more information provided than what is right here on this sheet. Second of all, if somebody from Sparta has already done this, then they should be able to tell us what is already in that course. I don't think that there is enough information provided to make this kind of a decision. Second of all, again, we have never had an incident of explosive device terrorism attack, of weapons of mass destruction happening here in Tomah. And this one deals specifically with weapons of mass destruction, is mentioned in here. So I think that again is another issue. There is no weapons of mass destruction that's going to hit Tomah, Wisconsin. We are a city of 10,000. If there's a target, I could understand that maybe they would like the highway patrol to have this type of a training dealing with transportation of large goods, large package trucks. But I don't think that this is something that Tomah is required to do or should be required to do. And the fact that we are having all of these kinds of trainings dealing specifically with these kinds of issues is sickening to me, because what is the goal of terrorism? The goal of terrorism is to drive you into fear, and in the name of fear, we have just signed blank checks away and provided all kinds of trainings that are, frankly, in my opinion, ridiculous.
Okay.
Because honestly,
Mr.
I
Boyer,
will say right now
you're repeating
that
some of the concerns you've had before.
we are trying to approve a training on terrorism. It says right here, incident response to terrorist bombings. Terrorist bombings in Tomah? Come on. This is insane that we have this kind of a training. And I'm trying, I hold nothing personal against anybody here. I love our police department. I think they're good people. I support their wages and salaries and all that they do. But this is ridiculous for Tomah, Wisconsin.
I call the question.
We would call for the question. We have a motion and a second. Discussion is closed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carried. The next item is concealed carry signs.